It's me, Mr. P, for Chapter 20 of FAKER. Thanks for joining me. Sleep hasn't come easily to me lately. Too many thoughts are buzzing around my head like hornets. You'd think a con man's son, who moves several times a year, would be used to things being unsettled. But now it's different for some reason. It isn't just that I feel at home in Box Elder. I've been comfortable in a lot of places. It's not just that I've made friends here, or even that Kaylee's here. Somehow, it seems bigger than that. Maybe it's this. Before, it never bothered me that my life was unsettled, because there was always Dad. He knew what he was doing. He was solid as a rock. He made the tough decisions, and he was never wrong. He kept our world safe and under control, no matter how quickly situations changed. Problems arose, and dangers swirled around us. I don't see that Dad anymore. He hasn't changed at all, so the difference must be me. I don't see a family business with operations and opportunities and profits. I see stealing from the people who welcomed us and became our friends. And yeah, some of them are rich and won't miss the money, although that doesn't make it okay. But the idea of taking Mr. Novak's savings and Kaylee's college fund just because he's clueless enough to let us, that's too awful. You can count a lot of sheep before you make yourself forget about that. I thought I'd sleep better once I learned the identity of ICL. Scratch that. Maybe I know more now, but the dilemma is the same. Ariana is just a younger, more extreme version of Dad. Our family is a runaway train chugging relentlessly toward a broken track over a cliff. Yet, we keep shoveling in more coal because that's all we know what to do. A sharp, clattering noise draws me bolt upright in bed. I look around the darkened room in alarm. What was that? I've just about convinced myself that I dreamed it when a second rat-a-tat disturbs the night. I jump up, rush to the window and peer outside. Logan stands on the grass 2 stories below. He reaches down for a handful of pebbles to deliver round 3, but I knock on the window until I get his attention. I throw open the sash. "What are you doing here, man?" I hiss. "It's the middle of the night." "I need to talk to you." I check my phone. "At 2:30 in the morning?" He nods. "It's really important." I almost say no. I was practically asleep when this disturber of the peace threw rocks at my window. What can he possibly want that can't wait? Something in his defeated posture and the desperate tone of his voice convinces me that he needs a friend, and he needs one now. "Go around to the deck," I tell him. "I'll be there in a minute." I throw a hoodie on over my t-shirt and pad barefoot down the stairs and out the back slider. Logan, fully dressed, is pacing back and forth in front of Dad's grill. "I was asleep," I tell him meaningfully. A slight exaggeration. "This better be good." He shakes his head. "It's not good. It isn't even close to anything you could call good." As he paces, he passes through the glow of the porch light, and I can see the dark circle under his eyes and how ghostly pale he is. Here I am worried about my own sleep while my closest friend in Box Elder looks like he hasn't slept in days. What does it say about me that I'm so wrapped up in my own problems that it's taken me until now to notice it? "What's up?" I ask. "You know that Vertonghen drawing your dad bought in exchange for the El Capitan shares? Tell him not to sell it." "Sell it? Of course Dad's going to sell it. He's no more an art collector than he is an auto executive or dog breeder." Aloud, I say, "Why not?" It takes Logan a long time to answer that question. Even then, he doesn't look me in the eye. "Because it's not a real Vertonghen," he replies finally. I'm confused. "Who drew it then?" "I don't know. Does it matter? The point is, if your dad tries to sell it, he could get in trouble. But here's the thing. You can't tell him. You just have to make sure he doesn't do it." Maybe it's the late hour or my lack of sleep, but I have no idea what he's talking about. "Logan, is this some kind of joke? Whatever you're trying to say, I'm not getting it." He turns away from me again and speeds up his pacing. He's almost like a cartoon character wearing a groove in the floor. At last he stops and regards me head on. "This has to be between you and me. Nobody else can know." "Know what? That the drawing isn't by some famous guy I never heard of in the first place?" It comes pouring out of him like the bursting of a dam. "Don't you see? It's a fake. It's all fake. The paintings, the sculptures, every single thing in our house." Where's the good stuff? I ask. In the gallery? There is no gallery. My parents aren't real art dealers. They're fakers. They act like big-time gallery owners to trick people into paying real money for cheap copies. The fact that I don't drop dead of shock right there on our deck proves that I might live forever. Finally, I realize what he's trying to tell me. The Romanos are just like us. I never told this to anybody before, Logan goes on in anguish. If my parents knew, they'd kill me. They'd go to jail if we get caught. You could never understand how it feels to have something like that hanging over your head. I have to wrestle down the urge to tell him that I'm the one person who understands exactly how it feels. So, where does all the art come from? I ask. You know, if it isn't real. He shrugs miserably. My parents have a contact. He can copy just about anything. And when he can paint new things in the style of famous artists. And he isn't good enough to fool the real experts. But most buyers aren't experts. By the time the truth comes out, we've disappeared. I guess my father isn't the only con man who always knows a guy. The Romanos know one too. An art forger, and a pretty good one at that. I think back to the pictures I took of the artwork in Logan's house back on the very first day. Mona Lisa wandered up my driveway. Dad's art guy couldn't identify a single piece as fake. I don't know what to say, I tell him. I mean, this is the last thing I expected coming from you. At school, you're always laughing and joking, like everything's a big goof. He's bitter. It's an act. If you keep smiling, you can almost forget that your parents are out there selling phony art, ripping off the people you're in class with every day, the people you made friends with. He studies the wooden slats of the deck, including you. I'm so sorry. When he looks up again, I can see he's holding back tears, but I feel a strange desire to laugh out loud. The Romanos sold Dad a worthless piece of art, and Dad paid for it with El Capitan shares that are just as worthless. Does it even count as a ripoff when two scammers are scamming each other, and the items exchanged would have exactly the same value? 0? What are the odds that two faker families would move right down the street from each other, and that their sons would become best friends? I speak again. Why are you telling me this now? Because, his face already pale, turns the color of concrete. Because this could be my last chance. I just stared at him. I might be leaving, okay? That's what we do. We live somewhere for a while, and when the heat is on, we get out of town. Too many pointers bought too much art, and somebody must have called the cops. The FBI's been nosing around. The FBI? I exclaim in amazement. It isn't that I don't believe Logan, it's just that I can't imagine that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is operating in the point, and my father doesn't know about it. He can usually smell a Fed a mile away. Yeah, they've been tapping our phones and spying on us, Logan explains. You can spot their van all over the place. Cable web communications. I nearly choke. The FBI has been parked right on our street. They don't have any evidence yet, but it's only a matter of time, Logan goes on. Once the vans start coming, the writing's on the wall. This could be the last time we ever see each other. All at once, I'm aware of a surge of sympathy mixed with admiration for Logan. How much courage must it take to admit all this to me? I can think of a dozen close friends I've left behind, stretching from Rudy clear back to when I was a little kid. At least half the time, I knew it was goodbye, but I never had the guts to say it. The secrecy was part of my job. The price of admission in the family business. It has to be the same for Logan. And he made an exception for me. There may only be one kid in the entire world who understands how special that is. But I'm that kid. The words are on the tip of my tongue. We're fakers too. Our car company is as real as your paintings. The temptation to blurt out my entire life story is as real as a smell or taste. For the first time ever, I can be open and honest about who I am. But it's more than that. When I share this with Logan, I'll no longer be alone in that weird gray zone between being a crook and being 12. No wonder Logan and I have grown so close. We have more in common than we ever knew. But when I try to open my mouth, speech won't come. This isn't just my secret to tell. It's Dad's. And Ariana's too. What if the Romanos get caught and interrogated by the FBI? Logan can't know about us. He tried to protect us, but real professional adult federal agents can always squeeze the truth out of a kid, especially when they hold the power to send his parents to prison. Coming clean to Logan is the right thing to do, and I can't do it. So I swallow what I want to say, what I need to say. And believe me, I gag on it. It sticks in my throat like a poison pill the size of a zucchini. Thanks, man, I manage in a husky voice. I know it can't be easy to tell me this kind of stuff. I promise your secret is safe with me. We shake hands like two executives closing a deal. It's funny, he comments, looking out over the dark waters of Lake Persimmon. When we first moved here, I actually thought this might finally be the place where I could settle in and be happy. Talk about stupid, huh? It's not stupid, I insist over the zucchini. It just didn't work out this time, that's all. He nods sadly. And it never will. Thanks for joining me for Chapter 20.